Hey guys, breakdown. I'm here to talk about some stuff. I'm going live so I can record it easily. I know the big blaring light. I'll probably move here in a second. Um, we'll see if anybody shows up. I haven't got anything. Let me. I don't know if I'm gonna. If I see viewers come in, I may. I don't know. We'll see. Let me bring up another YouTube. Here we go. I think it should come on. Ooh, I almost stopped the broadcast. Whoa! Don't do that, Brad. What are you doing? Okay, let's trying to get it to come up. Of course, it's why is that on there? David Flair, 10 second generation wrestlers who never made it. Didn't even try. Anyways, not even what? That didn't even make no sense. Anyways, all right, let's go to I think. Hold on. Okay. Don't click on Botchamania. All right, here we go. Go here. Got to turn it on. Okay, hold on. How do I do this? All right. All right, there we go. There we go. Oh, whoa, almost did it again. All right, well, here we go. I'm watching myself. Um, oh yeah, I gotta fix this. Anyway, it's funny because I think it realizes you off, but then it'll still show you on there. Anyways, we're gonna talk about pro wrestling today, how it fixed the WWE in 2017. A little bit more. We're gonna talk about some other topics. So the first thing I want to talk about is WCPW. I want to talk about them a little bit first. WCPW. So what culture, I guess, for some reason, and I don't know if they parted ways, he had to get rid of all those four people that left. If you don't know what I'm talking about, King Ross, basically the most popular person of all four, whatever. Though Blampier, I think it was Adam. Is it Adam Blampier? Anyway, he for King Ross left World of Culture. There was that. I think for something like I don't know. I didn't. I know I didn't get the name right, but they left. So now there was a big gaping hole. What was going to happen? WCPW low, so the audio can catch up. I'm watching the camera feed. Okay, so defiant now. They came out and said that that's what the company is going to be called. And Stu Bennett, which is Wade Barrett, basically, is his name's Stu Bennett, I believe, is what, and he's like the commissioner or whatever, GM, whatever you want to call him. And okay, we're traveling, but you Lane. Okay, I got to move stuff around. Hold on. What's going on with that? So it's kind of irritating. And oh, I got to fix the chair. I forgot. Whoops, the chair is a little broken. But anyways, that's what happened. They left. Maybe coats behind me, weirding me out. I gotta do this. All right. I can try to turn off that. Okay. So they left, and now they're called Defiant. And I'm looking on the YouTube channel today. That's what made me want to kind of talk about them a little bit. Is the fact that saying WCPW loaded. The point, and I'm pretty sure this is what they were trying to do, is that though it's supposed to be called WCP loaded. They had another one. Still called WCBW. Are they stuck like with what's going on with Impact Wrestling, GWF? It's I want to have, okay, I understand we all want promotions. There's so much talent out there. We want a lot of promotions to be able to watch and watch wrestling on. Cluttered like that. It's hard for me to watch it. One, I don't know what's going on. I'm confused. To be able to tell people, hey, yeah, I checked out this wrestling thing. You should check it out. They're really cool. Get your dang name right. How am I supposed to advertise for you? How is this word of mouth supposed to happen? Because that's what these, little promotions, like, that's what happened with ECW. Such a word of mouth thing that all it took was one person to say, hey, you should check ECW out. This one dude set a table on fire, slammed through it. Word of mouth, ECW, cult. No one will ever forget it. And that Ring of Honor, I think, was kind of like that. TNA, who came around after Ring of Honor was probably, I don't know how long Ring of Honor was around, but I'm just going to guess. I didn't do my research. I'm going to guess 5 years or a little bit more. And then TNA showed up. They would affiliate themselves with the NWA. They were doing really, really well. Then old Jeff Jarrett decided, I don't want to be in the company anymore. And it seems like that's when the company started to kind of turn. But I knew it was kind of going downhill before that because they weren't really utilizing their homegrown talents. And that was the problem. Everybody kept telling them. Their fans were telling them Styles win the world championship. We want Samoa Joe to win the world championship. Angle to hold the world championship. Even though Kurt Angle was not a homegrown talent, people respected him. Jeff Hardy debacle. People still respected Jeff Hardy, but really didn't see him, I don't think, as a world heavyweight champion. So, with that being said, it was awkward when they just kept on putting the belt back on Jeff Hardy. It didn't help the product at all. And after the fact, AJ Styles, the biggest thing I think that was the turning point going down. Just briefly, before we get to the WWE talk, I think that was the big moment that people were like, what did they just do? And it was when Dixie Carter had taken over. She was taking control of TNA at that point. And she let AJ Styles go. Anything about TNA was like the sting of TNA. He ain't going to go anywhere. He shouldn't have went anywhere. And now he's in WWE, probably one of the biggest, if you want to see a match in WWE, if anybody says, what's your dream match in the WWE right now, if you could make any match you could ever want, be in probably 85% of those matches. Probably 90. If you could pick anybody in the WWE right now. And probably everybody's dream match right now that everybody wants to see is Nakamura versus AJ Styles. It's what a lot of people would say. Like, I would love to see Nakamura versus Brock Lesnar, but not in America. To see. But there's other dream matches. But I think, like, I'm just trying to get the point that AJ Styles is a big star. They let him go. That was kind of the turning point for all. But WCPW, what you going for? But I don't understand the name change. There's no need for a name change. Why are we changing the names? It's kind of baffling to me. They never said their names. That should be said. You know, if they want to be a true wrestling company, everything be known. Not like, okay, this is how we did the match. We were backstage, and these two guys were talking. No, we don't need to know about that. We know how that works. You don't need. We know you guys are doing for internet. You're an internet community. You're making a wrestling product. We know how it works. All right. Be complacent about why you're changing your name. You were created on YouTube. Okay. Very loyal fan base, and you stop getting paid content on YouTube. Number one, big mistake. You could have pre-recorded like a bunch of crap. Just pre-record like 1 or 2 matches a day. Come out there. That'd be a week worth of footage you can record in 1 day. 1 day a week, you could have a show. You got your whole week's footage right there. It doesn't even have to be 2 matches. It could be 1 match a day. But instead, they go on this big thing, blaming YouTube, saying we can't make money, blah, blah, blah. You are a wrestling company. You're able to get big stars in your company. I'm assuming you're paying them or at a gate, or I don't know. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know how you're getting these big wrestlers to show up. Probably paying them. You have to make your money. But with that, I gotta say, you're having a live show, making a decent amount of money. If you're worried about that, you need to start charging a little bit more at the door and advertising that it's going to be filmed for the YouTube channel. Be interesting. That would be interesting, very much interesting. Do more during the show. Matches, maybe have a couple matches that aren't going to be aired on the network. Be kind of special, or have like a dark match that like Monday Night Raw has when they film theirs, because they always have like a dark match that goes on last. That's usually pretty good. Every week, Roman's probably in a dark match where he's probably tag teaming with the Big Show to take on, I don't know, Braun and whatever, in kind of a classic style kind of a match, but it's something extra. I don't understand what this thing about money. We let our most popular vloggers go, or they decide to leave, so you let them go. You to say, hey, what's going on? Why are you leaving? And there's no explanation whatsoever. If I was What Culture, I would ask the guys to explain why they're leaving. If they're not going to explain why they're leaving, you go on there and explain why they're leaving. Be upfront with the people that have followed your product. Because if you don't, those 4 people knows where the hell they went. I have no idea. You've not heard a peep from anybody. I have not heard anything of where they're going. And I would assume Steven Larson maybe would have brought up where they're going if they know. Or maybe they would kind of bring it up in a daily news kind of thing. So I don't know what's going on with them. I would honestly say that they need to explain what they're doing. Anyways, WWE in 2017. So this is the question I posed in the subject above. Let me rewind that a little bit. I'm live. I wanted to record this video today because I want to talk about this. I did do a video last night, which will go up today probably sometime. I'll upload it for the Breakdown channel, and it was basically just talking about how I would book certain wrestlers. Mainly, I think it was who was I talking about last night? A certain NXT star would book him roster. There's a couple guys that talked about I also talked about it today with Tommy. What I think they're kind of doing wrong with him and what they could have done, some stuff like that. I kind of talk about stuff. Anyway, with all that washed, and I may repeat what I said in that video a little bit, but this is what I would do. NXT, where it stands, where it is right now. So, review, you can't really stop it. Everything that's going to happen, you can't really stop it. Neville, he's gone. You screwed up. But here's what I wouldn't let Neville go. I would personally ask him, hey, what's your problem? And whatever his problem was, I'm like, okay, well, let's fix it. Creativity issues, what do you want us to do? What he wants, see, this is the major thing is WWE, this is what happened. And in order to fix it, you kind of explain what happened. So the Attitude Era, a lot of eyes on the product. NWO was hot. People were watching WCW. People were watching WWF. WWF at the time. I think it was. And high school, so many people were watching it. I would see NWO shirts all over, NWO Wolfpack all over, T-shirts everywhere, The Rock T-shirts. Just it was everywhere. It was everywhere. So you come from the Attitude Era, which had all these eyes. This WCW buyout happens. All the wrestlers, WWE, all that talent, they could not figure it out. The biggest mistake they ever did was bury WCW. Keep it going. I think that's the biggest thing that Vince McMahon, he let his ego get in the way of business. And he just shut down WCW. The one thing that I would have done, hired the writers over at WCW, and I said, okay, here's what we're going to do. And under the WWE, blah, blah, blah. I would have done it, but we didn't do that. We didn't do it. We got to go by what actually happened. So let's go piece by this. They had all those eyes, those wrestlers. Most of them did not come to the WWE immediately. Some wrestlers did. They still had a lot of decent names on the thing. So you could continue to watch it. You've seen Stone Cold on there, so forth. And a lot of wrestlers just slowly started to disappear. And in the wake of everything, you still had the Takers around, Kane around. He came up. He was still doing his thing. Mankind was around for a little bit, Mick Foley. It kind of withered away. Here came Brock Lesnar, and Brock Lesnar is kind of a key component to this. He's a pretty big name. Ric Flair, he was still around. So he kind of got pushed into things that probably necessarily he wouldn't have been pushed into going away. We got to talk about a couple of elephants. One we probably don't want to talk about, but we're going to get to them. Stars leaving. Here is why I'm getting to that. And the reason why I'm getting that is because wrestling in the mid-90s, when it was kind of a dark time, which all we had was gimmicky wrestlers. And then at the top of all the spectrum, we had Diesel and Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels, which, hey, they're all great and they're great entertainers. And they did a great job of what they're doing at the time, but there wasn't really substance. But there was still a lot of characters and things like that you could tune in because you liked the product. But it was still kind of kiddie and stuff like that. Attitude Era came, you got a lot more characters, and it was more adult friendly. They're really funny, and they kind of continued that. And it's not even the point that it wasn't adult friendly or adult related kind of stuff that kind of died off. It was the fact that wrestlers were slowly just going away, so you didn't really have those likable characters that people knew from the good old days. You know, Dustin Rhodes, Goldust had kind of went away for a while, he disappeared. He didn't come back until like later on. I don't know when he actually came back. I think it was like 2010 or something until he came back. I know my dates are going to be all over the place, and I'm probably not going to be saying it right. So don't take my dates to be correct. But anyways, so the point was all these wrestlers started to kind of go away. And one of the big things was Lesnar came around. Now at this time, seen a lot of things happen. But Lesnar leaving was a huge team. I think it was him and Kurt Angle. Brock won the title? I'm pretty sure Brock won the title there. WrestleMania 20. Farewell match versus Goldberg. Brock Lesnar says goodbye. Goldberg says goodbye shortly after this. Boom, boom, they're gone. Chris Benoit, at this time, wins the World Championship. Eddie Guerrero wins the World Championship. Wins the other World Championship. And get all the details right. They die within, things happen. Happen. A lot of wrestlers, top stars, gone. John Cena is really the only one. He starts to get on people's nerves. I'm not going to blame anything on John Cena, though, because a lot of stars left. Go anymore. They can't. Undertaker has a limited schedule now. John Cena time, Undertaker just started to show up at WrestleMania. So Kurt Angle ends up leaving as well. So you have all these top stars. Ric Flair's gone. I think he went to TNA at one point. A lot of people just disappeared. So that's a huge problem for the WWE, you know? They haven't really went out of their way to bring some of those wrestlers back and have them on TV in one way, shape, or form. Making a former wrestler and an announcer or something like that, they try and bring us new announcers, and they try to put them on the thing and whatever. Now they have Booker T as an announcer, which wouldn't you rather hear somebody else like Diamond Dallas Page or I almost said Rowdy Piper. He's dead. He ain't anyway. You never had these wrestlers that they could have said, "Hey, let's put Dusty Rhodes. He's working for NXT, but I'm sure he could, be on Raw every once in a while. Have like every month, like one day, like the first day of the month at the table. Might be interesting. Might be something fresh. We'll make a 4-man announce team. Steal my idea, WWE, because that'd be ridiculous. Interchange Booker T if you want to do something. Anyways, that's not the point. The point of this, you got to get wrestlers on the program that people want to see. You can get more managers. You can get more valets. You can put Lita on TV. And I know some of these people don't want to do anything nowadays, but I'm just trying to people who have been around the WWE for a while, keep them around. Tracks, pay per appearance thing, something. Is that DDP was there at 1.2. You didn't even use him, and now you'll never be able to use him again because now he's doing this yoga thing and he's off and running. Guys like that, manager, much more to the product at the time. So with the product right now is that a lot of fans just went away. During that time, Ring of Honor has become huge. Flippity. This is okay. So let's address an elephant that people are going to discuss. The one thing that gets me so irritated and pissed off immediately is when everybody just assumes Monday Night Raw sucks every single week. It does, for the most part. Immediately, like when I watch people, I don't want to watch negative Nancy's every single time. It's ridiculous. I subscribe to them and I give him a chance every once in a while. Ronan, JD from New York, stuff. And OTRS Central, they used to be good, except now it's this one guy. So someone else, really. Anyways, these channels used to be interesting. I used to like them. But then the more I thought about it, it's like, dude, these people, all they talk about is negative stuff. And I really didn't have anybody else to watch. You know, I used to watch OTRS Central very, very religiously. Ronan. No, I take that back. I found OTRS Central. Then I used to watch the Trio Woe show. But then they just stopped. Dead in their tracks, stopped doing it. Tried to watch OTRS Central after that, and then it was this Schleg Daddy, and he kind of stopped too at one point. So I basically didn't have anybody to watch. So I found Joe Cronin because the other guy talks for like 4 hours at a time, and I don't know what he's talking about. But I don't know how you could talk about Raw for 4 hours. I'm sure I could if I like wanted to, you know. Good Lord. The B, like Bo, Billy, Bobby. Oh, whatever. Anyway, so I hate negative Nancy's. So when I did that, I started watching Joe Cronin. He doesn't ever think that the WWE does any good, and when it does, it's something stupid. I found Steven Larson going in Raw. I love them. They're never like super negative, so it's good. Sometimes they'll talk about the product, but I differ with them as well. That's why I like this channel. I like to talk my opinions and everything because I'm not negative, not at all. I will talk about how. And I do think there's some I do think there is some fixing that could be done. It wouldn't take much at all. I think they're just missing a little bit there. Here is the problem with the WWE right now. Like I said, from a long time ago went away. It's really hard. It's really hard to bring them back. What you got to do is put JBL on TV. Put him in the wrong spot. Here's what I would have did with JBL. Announced this. We don't want to hear that asshole every week. We want him as a manager. JBL as the manager. Anybody. Who is one person? I'm trying to think like when he first came in, who he could have been with. And all the people that's come in now. I'm trying to think like who he could have been with. The Ascension. Just now thought about that. He came in a little bit right before the Ascension showed up. Came in, started doing. He could have been like trying to groom somebody. He could have got with Young. I know he's gay, and that might have worked out actually really. I'm just saying there could have been some problems there, but he could have managed somebody. Even in his, he could have been. Said you got Bob Backlund. What the? What are you thinking? That no one cared to see on programming. Not even the late 90s. Right before the Attitude Era happened, he left. Why would you bring him back? Anybody else? Like, if you decided to bring Duke the Dumpster Drosy back, it would make no sense. You had no eyes on the product at that time. The people know. Like, why would you bring... When they brought back the Headbangers, I was all into it. I don't know what the Headbangers really work unless you repackage them separately and have them do separate things. Are really, they should be on the roster anyway. Okay. So my dad, you can put them on TV. There's somebody we know would remember. Hey, the Headbangers are on the product. You should check it out. I think they're going to wrestle this week. Bring back Shelton Benjamin, who's 40 years old. Let's put him with some young pup. Makes him look like a jackass. That makes no sense. No sense at all. Good God. This is what you need to do. You need to get some wrestlers who are retired and who are well known, or you could show clips of that people will remember who they are. Mark Henry, Allah, Farouk, D'Lo Brown. He's doing some of the company, I think, though. Maybe? Is he doing some of the company? I'm pretty sure he's behind the scenes or something, I thought. Anyways, people like that. People that people know. Gods. Guys like that. And I don't know who's dead or still alive, but people from the Attitude Era would remember. Hell, bring back Kurgan. I don't care. Somebody. Problem. You need to have some of those people there so the casual fans will come back. Anyways, let's talk about the huge. Keep talking about. There's so many elephants that you have to make a move. And here's the biggest problem with the WWE right now is you have so much talent. So much talent, biggest thing of all. And the one thing that irritates me the most is people keep going, when's Finn Balor going to win the world championship? When's Bray Wyatt going to win the world championship? When's Ty Dillinger going to get a shot at the U.S. title? Ziggler going to get back on track and do something. I've not heard one person say what I would love to see: better stories, better storylines, better angles. Can I get a feud wrestlers and be entertained by it for 6 months at a time? Usos and New Day, it could happen. We can have it happen. Honestly, how long has it been? 2 months? We've been entertained by AJ Styles, Baron Corbin, and Ty Dillinger. A little triangle thing going on for like a couple months. Pretty entertaining. I'm enjoying it. Now we got Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode. Pretty interesting stories. Kind of some crash test things going on there. Interesting story there. So maybe we're going somewhere with Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler. Maybe Bobby Roode's the one guy that can get Dolph to look actually good. Really good. And some people, a lot of people said, like, oh, it's the same old Dolph. It's not nothing to do with the wrestling, okay? It's the storytelling. The storytelling, and that is the problem that gets me so irritating, gets me so riled up, is that people always want to talk about when is somebody going to get the world championship. Dude, I could care less. I would love for Finn Balor to win the world championship. I would. But there's too many big horses on Monday Night Raw. Balor is going to have to come to SmackDown. SmackDown's probably going to be the wrestling brand. But if it's going to be the wrestling brand, they need to make it that way. Get Rusev off of there. He can kind of hold his own. So Baron could probably stay on there and do some stuff with people. Nakamura is kind of a heavyweight, so he probably could go to Raw as well. But, I mean, he also is one of those people who can go both ways. Owens is another person who the wrestler type and still make them look good. But it comes down to what they're going to do. And I think, to be frank with an audience, is really what they need to do. They need to basically come out and say, wrestling brand. This is the entertainment one. And then they need to come out with another one. I don't even know what the other one would be. But basically, it would be maybe like a WCW. And I did this with how I would bring back a new WCW brand. And I think it's a great idea to have a third brand. I really do think they need a third brand. Whether it's going to be in NXT is something completely different. Other thing that they need to have is kind of a Styles, Finn Balor, Sami Zayn, guys like that to go main roster, but also satisfy the WWE's universe, them holding the championship and them having good matches, people. And I think having a company with the 205 kind of crowd is so interesting. I mean, think about the possibilities if AJ Styles, okay, let's say he wins the world championship one more time, and he somehow the world title ends up being between him and Nakamura at WrestleMania. Match, boom, Nakamura wins the world championship. He's off and running. AJ puts him on the map, helps Nakamura get over. Golden boy on SmackDown. AJ, what they do is they create this other brand. I don't know what they're going to call it, but it would be kind of a product, a true wrestling like SmackDown. It would be more of a pure wrestling kind of thing, more like a Ring of Honor kind of thing, where it would be more about the wrestling than the entertainment factor. Right now, SmackDown would be the wrestling product, but still have entertainment mixed in there. And Raw is more of an entertainment with traditional wrestling kind of mixed in. That's the way it should be, but they need to come out and kind of say that. Pretty much obvious about it. And they need to make their wrestlers don't like they got Eric and Rowan, Luke Harper, Wilson, Rowan Wilson. Oh my God, Harper and Rowan. How do they say that? Why? Why are they on SmackDown? They shouldn't be on SmackDown. Anyways, teams need to be on Raw. All the wrestling tag teams need to be on SmackDown. Brand that would show up. And I think that would be a good time to get rid of 205 Live. The wrestling people would go. Kalisto. And I know some are like, Kalisto, he should be on Raw. Doesn't job him out. If you put him in a wrestling environment, I'm sure he would get better. And he would do really good things. 205 Live people, minus Enzo, who, they're idiots anyway. You made this guy. I'm going to talk about Enzo a little bit here. He should be a manager. I'm telling you right now. You did a good job. You introduced him to the universe. The story. And I'm hoping in a year or two, when they have nothing more for Enzo to do, they make him into a manager. For God's sake, get him off of the wrestling. Because I don't think that needs to be his career move. One of the greatest talkers in the product. He entertains a lot of people. That in order for his stability, you need to move Enzo into a managerial role. Announcing things, I see that'd be annoying, but I can see him being a manager. Have him be a heel right now. Put him with somebody, not somebody on that wrestling, the pure wrestling product, because that's not even necessary. Put him with the guy. I don't even know who you put him with. Who would you put Enzo Amore with? Like new. I don't remember what their names. Oh, Street Profits. When they come up, put Enzo with them, and then over again. He could be their hype guy, man. He could be the Street Profits hype guy. I don't think they really need him though, to be quite honest. So put him up. Who I'd put him with? But anyways, I would really have that other brand. I would really have that other brand because what they're doing right now, I think they're doing a good job. What do you want to watch? That's basically what they should tell you. Raw is such a big mess right now because it's a lot of heavyweights, no wrestling that some people just don't like. If you don't like it, then they'll understand what we want. But the problem is there's so much good people or should really have an input as to what thing they want to do. And if you're telling Samoa Joe, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to build you up so strong, and then we're going to put you in a match with Brock Lesnar. He's going to hit you with one F5 at the end of the match, and you're going to get pinned. I would, if I was Joe, okay, if I do this, I'm leaving. or I'm going to go to the ROH brand, and I'm going to go there because I want to wrestle. I want to story. And believe me or not, they believe me, they did put on a story. I enjoyed the Joe Brock Lesnar thing. Lesnar needs to be gone. That's the first thing that I would do with Lesnar. I don't give a crap if the reason why they're holding on to him is until WrestleMania. With them, whatever. They don't need him anymore. Lesnar anymore. And that's the biggest problem they have right now. Is that have Brock Lesnar under contract. This is what I would do. All the money that's promised to Brock Lesnar, I would tell him, but we no longer need your services. This is what we want you to do. To the ring, we want you to forfeit the title. Just over in my head so many times is that I wish this would happen this year. Is that Brock Lesnar goes out of the ring and says, I have no competition. I beat everybody on Monday Night Raw, the Universal Championship. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up soon. But yeah, that's how we do it. I have forfeit title, Royal Rumble on something else. Hold on a second. All right. I'm back. Sorry about that. A little break. People were talking outside. I was like, what the hell? I don't know. Or something. Because sometimes we do have people knock on the door, like maintenance people, and they'll like come in. So it's like, okay. Anyways, yes, I would have Brock Lesnar drop the championship. WWE part ways with Brock Lesnar. Hoping Paul Heyman would stay on board behind the scenes and do stuff. Have him run the company. And I've heard rumors that they're going to have ECW come back and be on the network, but I don't know if there is to that. And if there is, I really should just give it to Paul Heyman. Be like, hey, give me the money for it. I kind of hope that's what they do. I think that would be smart by WWE because, one, a lot of people would follow that product just because Paul Heyman's behind it. Or Paul Heyman has. And people don't realize that. People don't realize if you think about how much you like Paul Heyman, if you came back and they hands what to do with it. Crazy. Anyways, it's a whole other video. I will definitely do that video someday. But let's talk about this real quick. I would have Brock come out and drop the championship. I would have the Royal Rumble happen. The title will be up for grabs in the Royal Rumble. And I think that would be a great way to get. But the way I would do that is I would somehow have to be something because I think this would be the way where you set up AJ Styles and Nakamura. I'm not sure how you would do it, but I think it would have to do something with a feud between somebody interfering and knocking Nakamura out of the ring. What it would probably entail, maybe I'm trying to think of who I would do, who I would have do it. Because one, you would have Raw and SmackDown competitors in there, so you'd have a lot of the big name competitors on SmackDown trying to go for that Raw World Championship. Harper and Rowan, you would have. He's a U.S. champion. He'd be in there as well, trying to get the World Championship. So it would be a big night. Women's championships would be on the line to kind of cover the singles belts. not for any single belts being on the line, because all the champions like the Miz and everybody would be in the Royal Rumble trying to win the World Championship. So with that being said, like I said, AJ Styles should win the Rumble and win the championship, the Universal title. He would go to Monday Night Raw. And even something where this will be interesting. I would love to see Dean Ambrose turn heel in the Royal Rumble, eliminate Roman Reigns, but then also in turn eliminate Nakamura. And this would be near the end. AJ Styles, Baron Corbin, and trying to think who's a random person I could throw in at the end. Braun Strowman would have to be probably eliminated earlier on, so he probably would make it. Big Show would make it. People like yelling outside. It's really annoying. I'm trying to do my video and stuff, and they're like, "Arr." What's that? No, man. Probably Finn Balor. Have Finn Balor make it to the end. So you got Finn, AJ, Dean Ambrose in there, because you want to make Baron Corbin look strong at first. And then Finn gets eliminated by Dean Ambrose. So now you set up Dean Ambrose with 3 feuds already. Finn, Roman, Nakamura. And at first you don't turn Dean heel because you want him to go to Raw and Roman to go, okay, yeah, well, you eliminated me. I still got beef with you about that. And so he doesn't turn heel yet. Balor, the same thing. I know you're a good guy. And Dean goes on a rant about, and he starts a program with Nakamura. So now you get a reason for Nakamura to come to Monday Night Raw. Some kind of contract negotiation goes on. In this place, maybe Finn Balor. I have no idea. That's where your imagination could come in. But that's kind of a thing that could happen. One, you get Brock Lesnar on TV, and you'd have the World Championship crown at the Royal Rumble. And now, going into 2018, going into after WrestleMania, you would have a heck of a show. Won't have your championship in Minnesota when you're in India, champion. So you got to bring Jinder Mahal with you. Completely honest, Jinder Mahal could win the Royal Rumble and get the Universal Championship. Nakamura versus him at WrestleMania. Somehow get Nakamura over the Raw because he wants that title. He wants to beat Jinder for a world title. Prove himself. I don't know. I don't know, folks. I don't know. Still know. But that's what I want to happen. Have flexibility with. We'll go a long way too. Good thing would be a thing that I would say is that intention for any championships, you should be trading people left and right. Kurt Angle gets bored working with Kalisto, so they send him to SmackDown, and then they trade him back, and then Kurt Angle's like, okay, you're going with the 205 Live crew, okay, so he's at hell trapped. Think about this. Think about this for a second. SmackDown has Harper and Rowan. They don't know what to do with them. Cesaro and Sheamus, they send them to SmackDown. A couple months from now, Luke and them have the tag team titles. Here comes Cesaro and Sheamus back. Here goes the club to SmackDown. So there's kind of this trading back and forth, going back and forth, and I think that'll be interesting because I think that if they can move freely when they're not doing anything, that would be good. Because right now, Breezango is doing nothing. They could be on Raw right now having a storyline with the Hardy Boys. What I'm talking about. Stop fixating the wrestlers, because as long as you try, okay, you want to make things feel like a sport. You want to kind of have that aspect. You trade players all the time. There's a little window, but really doesn't matter. I mean, wrestling is 365 days a year. It's all wrestling, but the season starts at WrestleMania. So I understand if you want to do a draft every year around that time. But even during the year, things will get stale. People will get injured. The Revival was supposed to probably be a key part of the tag team division this year, and nothing happened because they both got injured. Healthy. Oh, such a great career for the Revival so far. I feel sorry for them because they should be like the tag champs right now. It should be already over. They should be the tag champs on SmackDown. SmackDown. Come back. Send the SmackDown. Go. Troubles me. That's why it really needs fixed. The thing about, oh, he doesn't have the title. Why doesn't Finn have the title? Blah, blah, blah. Dude, Finn, just put on a damn match. And the thing about Finn Balor is I really want to like him. I really do want to like Finn Balor, but it seems like every match of Finn Balor is the same. And I understand that he doesn't want him to do certain things. Brainwashed that crap into his head. Repeat, 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 blah, blah, repeat. And it's stupid. That's what we don't like about the WWE. So we need to stop that and put on a match. For God's sakes, put on a match. Dude, I can understand if your finisher is the same, but you got to have a cool finisher. There are some people in WWE right now that have crappy finishers. They're pretty good. There are some on NXT that have shitty finishers. Some other people. No, like literally Bobby Roode's finisher is an elevated DDT that seems very flat. But he's got to put some more stank on it or something. It didn't look shitty when he did the doll. Who did he wrestle this last time? But when he dropped him, it was like there was no stank on it. He was maybe like, glorious, boom. And it's like, he didn't even do that. He's just like, boom. It's like, you got to put something on it. Like, don't just like go, boom. It was like, the hell is that? You know, AJ, like every time AJ does the moves that he has like 2 or 3 of them. Styles Clash, Phenomenal Forearm. When he does his moves, you believe that that's going to knock the crap out of somebody or make them tap. They kill the guy when he does Styles Clash. All those moves, they mean something. So WWE, let your people do their damn moves. And Finn Balor, regular match. Not one of your crap that you continually trying to do. Sorry, I got bagged behind that. It's really annoying me. Okay, there we go. As soon as I laid this down and started. Nobody's really coming in. Oh, somebody actually did just show up. Hey, how you doing? Okay. But anyways, this is WWE. I mean, really, that's plain and simple. Let the wrestlers be who they are. And, just let them go out there and wrestle. And the thing about that is they're too worried about them getting hurt. And I understand that. They need to do that. But anyways, they're probably like, what are you talking about? For a while. What's he talking about? Anyways, yeah, leave comments down below what you thought about what I said, about what I said. But yeah, a lot of stuff. I want to go watch some YouTube real quick before I go to bed. I have anyways, keep watching wrestling. I'll talk to you guys later. Leave comments down below everything I talked about, what you would do to fix WWE. And there's probably more by the time. Anyways, there may be a part 2 to this, maybe, in a recorded video. Did you guys hear that? Because I think it's let one go. Keep rocking and keep on watching wrestling.